And this to me seems like the overwhelming theme. You said, what, Krug, you've been at Niner camp. Give me the theme. What's the theme? There's always a theme. What is it this year? I'm a personnel guy. So I always think of the players. Where's the talent, right? And what's really impressive is how much young talent the 49ers have accumulated in their secondary. They got a lot of it. They got a lot of really good young talent in their secondary. I mean, if we just went through it, just start at the safety spots. Talanoa Hufanga, all-pro player. He's really young. Jair Brown. I mean, what's Hufanga? Hufanga's a really, really young football player. He's 25. Yeah, he's 25. Talanoa Hufanga, 25 years old. Jair Brown. Jair Brown's a hitter. He's got great nose for the football. Loves football. Watches it. Tons of film. Super smart football player. Coming off an amazing year. He's 24. 24. I love Jair Brown at Penn State. Then I watched the Rose Bowl, and I wasn't even that big. I wasn't even honing in on him. I'm just sitting there watching Penn State, Utah, defensive MVP, sacking the quarterback, interception, bunch of tackles. He was everywhere. Defensive MVP of the Rose Bowl against Utah. And he was on the Feldman's Freaks list, so he's a crazy athlete. And then I started doing the deep dive, and I read the Brugler draft guide on him, and they're like, yeah, this guy's the New Jersey All-State, state leader and career leader in steals, all-time career leader in steals for New Jersey basketball. And you can see it. I mean, he breaks on the ball. His break on the ball is outstanding. So you got Hufanga, and he's 25. Jair Brown, he's 24. Those are your starting safeties. You just drafted Malik Mustafa. By the way, it's Malik, okay? So if you hear someone say Malik, they're wrong. It's Malik. Malik Mustafa. Believe me, everybody's going to know this guy's name before long because he is bad A. I mean, he had an interception the other day. That's one of the greatest plays I've seen in camp in years. Simple go route. I think it was Dobbs, or maybe it was Allen. Dobbs or Allen throwing the ball. I forget who the corner was. I think it was Womack. And it's Danny Gray. And you got Mustafa playing in the middle. And he just comes over. And a lot of safeties will come over a little bit late. And it's still they're there, but only if the receiver comes down with it. Are they impacting the play? Some guys will get there too early and then they throw the flag. Some guys will get there way late and they're just a non-factor. Timing it with the ball in the air is half the play. This guy, Malik Mustafa, sprints over there full speed. He's 5'10", 206. The guy looked like he jumped 10 feet into the air. He outjumps the receiver and the corner, and with one arm reaches up, grabs it, and just brings it back, just like my football. Like how dare you guys touch this football? Like, I'm not just picking this off. I'm picking this off, and I'm doing it with freaking ease to show you what a bad A I really am. It was amazing. He just ripped it out of the air with one arm. It's the kind of play that you make early in training camp as a rookie to be like, there's a new sheriff in town. It was an amazing play. I mean, if this could have been very fortunate in that this guy made a couple other amazing plays in this 4-day block, but could just be a hot start. Granted, but I don't think so. He was pretty good at Wake Forest. I loved him in the draft. Anybody who's been watching me on this channel knows that I loved Malik Mustafa in the draft well before the Niners ever picked him. It was a terrible year for safeties in the draft, and yet Mustafa was amazing, and you could tell. Coverage, he can cover. Hitter, every bit the biggest hitter you're going to find. So you got a cover guy who's a hitter, and then you're just like, well, is he a leader? Yeah, he's a leader. Does he love football? Oh, yeah, he leads by example. Lives to play the game. All those kinds of things. All the things that matter. This guy's just really grade A. So think about that. So now he's 22. Those are your safeties: Hufanga, Brown, and Mustafa. You also have George Odom, who's a special teamer, phenomenal special teamer. George Odom is only 30 in his own right. He's one of the best best special teamers in all of football. He's an all-pro special teamer. So you have 3 safeties and 1 special teamer, and you're going with 4 safeties. Your 3 safeties are all great and young. And then look at your corners. I mean, Mooney's your veteran. He's 28. That's a young corner. Isaac Yiadom is still a young man. He's 28. I mean, that's still a relatively young corner. Yiadom's coming off of his career year. And then you look around at the rest of the Niner corners. Demo Lenore. Demo Lenore's 24 years old. He's a tremendous player. He's really good. I love Demo Lenore. I think he's one of the best young DBs in the sport right now. Ambry Thomas can look great and he can look bad. In a lot of ways, he's the physical prototype. 6 feet, 90. He ran in the 4.3s coming out of Michigan. There was a reason that he was a 3rd-round pick. He's got great measurables. He's a tremendous athlete. The Niners really have turned it around the last couple of years when they've gotten Ambry on the field. A lot of people are very critical of him, but and he's been very inconsistent, but he's still only 24. Ambry Thomas is 24. So, I mean, another guy who's really young. Ambry Thomas. And then you're looking at Renardo Green running around out there from Florida State. He's 23. He's a baby. Rookie out of Florida State. He's damn good, by the way. Renardo Green's just super cocky, confident cover guy. Samuel Womack is 25. Samuel Womack is a good corner. I know it hasn't happened for him yet. You'd have to ask around and find out exactly why. I'm telling you right now, the guy can play. And if he goes somewhere else, he'll play well for whoever he plays for. He can play. He's an NFL caliber corner for sure. You know who had a great play today? He had a pick yesterday, and he had a phenomenal play today. Was Darrell Luter Jr. He's wearing number 28. He had a play today on the sideline. It was just an amazing play. He's 24. 6 feet, 190, super long arms. So he plays more like 6'3" on the field. He plays really tall. So, I mean, that's takeaway number 1. That you think of the 49ers and you're thinking, and we've been worrying the last few years about the secondary. Do they need more help? And they got to get more help in the secondary, and they got to get more help on the corner. And they've officially solved this problem. This is a deep and talented secondary that's all in their young prime. I mean, they're all ready to roll right now. And the oldest guy's 28, which is, I would say, the apex of an NFL career. It's probably around 27, 28. That's Mooney. So he's the old man in the group at 28. So he's in the super prime. And then Isaac Yiadom is coming off a tremendous year, and he looks great out there. He's physically dominating, very big, long arm guy. And then Lenore's a young fella. So's Ambry. So's Renardo. So's Womack. So's Luter. I mean, and then they have other guys too. They have Rock Ya-Sin and they have Chase Lucas. I mean, they've got some other guys there too that they could lean on if they wanted to. Rock Ya-Sin is a good player too. Rock Ya-Sin there's nothing wrong with Rock Ya-Sin as a NFL backup corner, in the mix there. So that's the number one takeaway is that the 49ers secondary stacked with good young players. Probably going to keep 10 in your secondary. So if you count, you get Mooney, Hufanga, Jair, Yadam, Lenore, Ambry, Mustafa, Odom, Renardo Green, Womack. That's 10 right there. And that you still don't have, that doesn't account for Luter or Rock Ya-Sin. So they're loaded. They got a really, really good young secondary. And can they coach them up? Can Sorensen and Staley and these defensive coaches, can they coach them up? Can they get them ready? Because that's a ton of good defensive back talent. That's a really good group back there. Now, I don't know what they'll be up front. I mean, you got Bosa and Leonard Floyd to start. You took away Armstead. You're not going to have Greenlaw for a lot of the year this year. So can you stop the run? How good's Malik Collins? I don't know. How good's Jordan Elliott? I don't know. Is Drake Jackson going to come of age this year? Hopefully, is Yatir Gross-Matos and Robert Beal? Are these guys going to give you a quality run? I mean, if I knew that Beal and Drake Jackson and Yatir Gross-Matos were all going to, really fire and have good years, I'd feel great about the 49ers because I think that's a big question mark. The depth at defensive end is a big question mark.